Bill White is chairman of the OECD's Economic Development and Review Committee. He is with us by phone this morning. Bill, the OECD says Spain is not doing enough. How tall in order are these recommendations for Spain in this morning's report?
Well, I think politically, obviously, the kind of suggestions that are being made here will prove difficult to do. But a crisis is often the best time to get things done that couldn't otherwise get done. So I think what the recommendations that the OECD made have been perfectly sensible. They've given a lot of credit to the Spaniards for what they've already done. But what they're suggesting is that they've got to go still further. And one of the biggest things that they've got to do is take steps to improve the functioning of the labor market, and in consequence, increase growth potential and fiscal revenues and all that stuff with time.
Well, Bill, as you point out, Bill, you were just saying crisis is a great incentive for political leaders to take action. But as we've seen in Greece and we were just discussing in France, political action or action to address these kinds of problems is often met with tremendous resistance.
Well, there's no question that at times, it can be met with big resistance, particularly because the people that are gaining from the old system, the rents from the old system, know that they're going to be taken away. And the others who are going to gain from the reforms oftentimes don't have the kind of political clout because they're unemployed and whatever. But I think there are many instances where determined governments have been able to push reforms through. We've seen this a lot on the macro side, and I think we could see it again on the structural side. But the labor market, in a certain sense, in Spain is like a low-hanging fruit. It's so obvious that there's things there that are not working properly that everybody can see, as it were, the need for change. And if you can just get that sort of that agreement to do what everybody knows needs to be done, then I think progress can be made.
So, Bill, what if Spain actually follows through on the OECD's recommendations and it does not satisfy the financial markets? Spanish bond yields are already in the 5.5% neighborhood and may be headed higher. If they go higher, you know as well as I, Spain is going to have a very, very difficult time refinancing debt coming due next year.
Absolutely, there could be a problem, but think about the character of the problem. If what we're going to say here is that Spain is basically on a pretty good track, I think that's what the OECD is saying. They're putting forward sensible reforms that have got a reasonable chance of being implemented. Let's suppose all of that goes forward and the financial markets say, well, we're still not convinced. Then I guess it seems to me we have more problem with the financial markets, and for that matter with the rating agencies, then we've got a problem with the fundamentals in Spain.
So, Bill, quickly, before we run out of time, what's the resolution to that?
Well, I must say that when I saw that downgrading of Spain by Moody's, I think, or the threatened downgrading, and the rationale that they used for it was that they may have liquidity problems coming forward, even though Moody's feels that their underlying fundamentals are pretty good and Spain is definitely different from the other peripheral countries. Then you've got the potential here for a kind of feedback loop, which is very, very unhealthy. But it's nothing to do, I shouldn't say it's nothing to do, but it's not primarily to do with the underlying problems of Spain.
Bill, I'm afraid we have to run.
These things.
That's Bill White of the OECD, folks, on Spain.